start the today's session, and we will try to start with the users and group. So whenever we are talking about the Linux operating system, guys, in Linux operating system, we do have two types of user account. We do have two types of user account. Types of user account, you can say user account. Two types of user account we do have. One used to be the root account, and the second one used to be standard account. Root account and standard account, and this user you will be calling it as a root user. These users you will be calling it as a these users will be known as the standard users, because here root user will be one and standard user can be multiple. That is the first thing. And second thing, root user will be having entire privilege. Privilege means entire permission. The root user only own the operating system, can say like that. And standard user is all about, if root user will give any permission to standard user, then that user will perform the task accordingly. So let's see here what we are going to learn throughout the session: how to manage the user account, how to manage the group account, how to give the permission, and what is the difference between su and sudo commands, and what is the AWS IAM identity and access management. In details, we will try to understand all these concepts one by one. So guys, when I'm telling you, let's suppose there is a root account. There is a root account, a root user in Linux. If there is a root account, a root user in the Linux, so what Linux recommend? What Linux recommend? Linux recommend us, do not use root account. Do not use root account. Why? Because if you will use the root account, you will be having almost all the privilege, all the permission. So what you can do that time, you can go into the kernel and you can modify the file, you can modify the setting. It means that your OS will get disturbed, your OS setting will get disturbed. So rather than using a root user, what you can do is you can create one standard user and you can ask the permission from the root user and you can perform the task. You can perform the task. So this is how the Linux recommend us. Do not use the root user. If you require, then you can use. Neither without root user also you can perform your task. You can ask the permission from the root user, right? So it does not recommend you. And when it comes to the user, guys, when it comes to the users, so what we can do is, let's suppose there is a file, this is a file, or this is a service. Let's consider it is a file, or you can say it is a folder or directory we used to call in the Linux. Is if there is any file or directory in the Linux, and you are the root user, you are the root user root user, and you on that, this file in this directory should be owned by, or it can be modified by a user. Let's say user 1. There is a user 1 can modify this file. So root user will give permission to this user to access this file. Simple. But at the same time, in general company, what happens, like it's, if suppose you do have these files, one file and one folder. Now there are so many user, these user wants to access these file and directory, this entire user wants. So rather than assigning the permission one to one, what we can do is, we can create a group. Of these user. We can keep these 4 user or 5 user in a group. Once I'll keep in the group, now I'll assign the permission to this group. Automatically the permission will come to all user. Now all user will be accessing this file and directory. This is what the user and group concept. Now how to manage the user, we will be seeing one by one. So user account will be represent uh, users on the system, guys, and user information will be stored locally, or sometime you can also store in the server, and it will store the users detail will store into the /etc/passwd file. And best practice is to assign one user per account. The best practice is to assign one user, means standard user at least with one account, and don't share the account's credentials with other. Now what we can do is, if we create the user detail will come like this, right? Like one user, their encrypted password, user id, group id, and here user description, here it is home directory, and this is default shell for the user. These we have seen already, these info will be created. We'll do the practice of it. And default user account means root account. Default system accounts are created during the installation of Linux and services, means that is the root user account will be created during the installation, and that will be the that will allow the entire administrations of the system. And root will be the name of user, again encrypted password, 0 will be user id, again 0 will be group id, and then root will be the description here, and this root is the home directory, and this is the default shell for this user. These entire details we have seen already. Now if you need to, add the user, guys, you can create the user account. At the same time, once you will create the user account, you will be able to get the directory, you will be getting the users home directory. Inside the home you will get the users home directory by the same name, let's say m measure. We are adding a user m measure, then what will happen, with the same name m measure, one directory will be created under the home. It will be coming m measure here, /home/m measure. This directory will be for this user. This user can perform any task into this directory, and you can check the id, user id, group id of the user, and you can later on check out the entire details of the user. Moving further, there are few command options, or you can say there are few flags that has been given. Like if you need to see the comment, if you need to add description or comment, then you will be using user add -c, and then this is the description you can add into double quote, and that you will be adding into the ZOI user. And if you want to add any account expiration, so you will add user add space -e 2025. This is the date that you can use. On this particular date this account will be expired, that you can add -e. And -d we can use to set up the home directory path. Let's say user add -d user ZOI. This is the home directory we are setting. We are not keeping into the home now. We are keeping into the users ZOI. This is another directory where we are keeping up the home directory of this user. So these kind of three commands you can set here. And next one, if you need to modify the user, you will be using user mode. Last time user add was there, this time user mod. To modify the user, -c to add the description or comment here, and -e to add the user mode, -e to add the date for expiring the user. And after that you can check, and at the end of it you can use user del option, user del command to delete the user, and -r, that will also delete the user's home directory. And this is what about the user which we do have here, guys. And once you will use the passwd command to set up the password here, and password will not come on the screen, you have to enter the password 2 times. And users can reset their own password also, and the root user can reset any user password directly, and the character will be echoed, so you cannot see the character on the screen. And after that we will be going ahead with the managing with the group. So let's start the lab, guys. Let's start the lab in here we go. It is ready, guys. The lab is ready. Now we will direct connect with the we will download the putty file, key pair, ppk file, and we'll copy this IP address, and then we will start with the putty now. We can type here ec2-user at the rate public IP address, and after that we will expand the SSH and then auth credential. We'll browse the credential which we have just downloaded. We'll open, and if we need to save a session, so let's save a session today. Session 1, open. And what we can do is we can just increase the font so that it should be visible to everybody. Ready, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So we will clear up the screen now. So whenever we are going to work for the user, guys, so please remember one thing. Uh, Users activity, if you need to either create the user or modify the user, EC2 user is already the standard user. How to verify? Just because of this dollar sign, we can verify it is not the root user, it is standard user. So standard user cannot create the another user. For example, if you add the command here, user add user1, so it will say permission denied. It is not having permission because it is the standard user. It means that we have to log in as a root user. If you log into the root user, two things matter. If you log into as a root user, first thing matter is user, and second thing will be present working directory of that user. So for example, now if you see who am I, so it will say you are EC2 user, and what is your present working directory? That is inside the home you are using EC2 user folder. This is the directory which is owned by this user, and this user will be performing the task under the same user. Now if you want to switch to the root user, and your user should be the root, your present working directory should be the root, so you will be writing sudo space su space hyphen. This command will bring you to login as a root user, and your present working directory will be also slash root. Let's see. And now if you check who am I, so it will say you are root, and what is the working directory? So if you check out pwd, it will say slash root. So user is root and directory is slash root. It means that user home directory is slash root. Now you have logged in as a root user. So now we will be creating the user. Now we'll be creating the user. So I will clear up the screen, and I'll start from starting. Let's say the first command, we will create a normal user. So let's add user add command. User add, and you can add the user here. Let's say you can add the user here by the name of Aditya. Aditya is our first user. Aditya is our first user. I'll give the name Aditya, and then I'll add a password for Aditya. So I'll just write pass wd Aditya. It means that I am going to save, I'm going to give the password to Aditya. And in the Linux, guys, capital letter and small letter, it matters. So if you keep Aditya from capital A, it means that it is different. If you start with the small a, it will be different. It is completely case sensitive, right? So if I'll give the password here, it will ask password two times, and once we will keep the password, it will be echoed. We cannot see the password. So I have created the user. I have assigned the password to this user. Now there is two things that we need to verify. Where we have created the user and where is the user's home directory. So first of all, we will check the users where it has been created. So for checking it out, you can use cat command inside the slash etc slash passwd. document, if you see, you will be getting the user's details. So this is here Aditya, and this is the user account or username, and X is the encrypted password, 1001 is the user's ID, in 1001 is the group ID, and there is no description here. Along with that, we do have home slash Aditya here, that is the home directory of Aditya, means Aditya directory, and this is the default cell slash bin slash bash. This is the details we are getting here. Now if you want to get the single line, if you want to get the single line rather than getting entire details on the file, so you can use tail command, guys. Tail command, tail space hyphen n, tail space hyphen n, and how many number of lines you want to get from bottom. So I want only one line, tail space hyphen n, number of line you want one, from the same file etc slash pass wd. So it will just give us only one line, only one line from the bottom. And if you need to check the top first line, so here you will use head command, head space hyphen n, and you want to get the first line from the same file, so you can just keep here head command. So here it is telling in the first line of that file root detail is there, and in the last line of the file it is Aditya detail, right? So if you need to get multiple line, let's say if I need to get more than one line from the top, so I can use head space hyphen n. Let's say I need to get 5 lines, so I'll write here 5 slash etc slash pass wd. So we can see the top 5 lines here, right? Top 5 lines into that file pass wd. It is just simple as, guys, it is just simple as, let's say you have created the user and you are able to check the user's detail. Now you need to verify whether by the same name Aditya, is there any folder which has been created under the home. So you will check the present working directory. So present working directory is slash root is your present working directory. Now what you will do, you will change the directory, you will go to home, you will go to home directory. If you go to home directory, here if you do ls, you will be seeing Aditya and EC2 user. These two directory has been created for two user. One is your Aditya user and one is your EC2 user. These all are not the users which we are seeing right now. These are their directory. These all are their directory. If you need to see the users, again you have to do the cat space slash etc slash pass wd slash pass wd. This command shows users detail. This command shows users details. But right now under the home, if we do ls, under the home, under the home, if we list the files and directory, then we will get the directory, home directory of the user, home directory of user, like that. You can say these two things are different, right? Users detail we can get it from here, and their directory we can get it from here. You can see ls, this is the user. Now guys, now I'll just clear up the screen. This is the first thing that we have already completed, we have done it. Now let's suppose whenever we are keeping up this command, let's say tail command space hyphen n, one line from the same file from bottom, right? So we are able to get here Aditya, their what do you say, encrypted password, user id, group id, and then there is no description. So what we will do is we will check, you can check this id also, guys, directly here. If you can keep id of the user name, if you write here user Aditya, it will give the user id and group id of the Aditya. Along with that, now Let's say you want to add one more user where this description you need, right? So in that case, what you can do is, let's suppose I'm going to create one more user. I'll clear up the screen and I'm going to create one more user. So my command will be user add space. Now I want to add the description, so I'll keep hyphen c for comment. Now we will add, let's say, a second user. Who is my second user? Let's say Anant is my second user. For example, Anant is my second user. I have hit enter and I'll give the password to this user, Anant, right? Right? And now I'll just give, let's say, password here 123 123. I have given the password. Now I need to verify this user, so I'll get the description. So for example, if you need to check again, you can use tail command hyphen n space two two lines from the last, from the same file called etc slash pass wd. You can see now Anant is the second user. This description we are getting second user. Anant is second user. And at the same time, in Aditya there is no description. But if you want to add the description in Aditya, so what you have to do, now you need not to use user add, you have to use user mode. Now you are going to modify the user and you will add, let's say now you are going to add here, Aditya is my first user. Aditya is my first user. So hyphen c and then I'll keep here Aditya and I'll hit enter. Now if I'll verify the same by keeping the next command called tail space hyphen n space two line from the same file etc slash pass wd, sorry, pass wd, there is 3s. So here you can see this is the first user and this is the second user, right? So I have told you how to add the description, how to modify the user to add a description. Both of the things I have told you. The second thing which we have seen under the user was how to add the expiration date. If I'll show you here, if I'll show you here all the three commands, so the second command which we are able to see here is users account expiration. Users account expiration. So now guys, if you see this at the place of e, at the means expiration means e, so what you can do is you can use the date format as it has been given, hyphen e we are going to use for account expiration. If you want that this account should get expire in the year of 2026 and on this month and this date, and the username is Zedoy. So this detail, this command you will be using once you are creating a new user. For example, let's suppose I'm creating a third user here. Third user. For example, let's say I'm adding user add and now I'm creating my third user. So while creating, if I need to give the expiration, so I can just keep hyphen e and after that as you can see we can simply give the date in the same format, or you can give the date in this format also, 2026 slash month is 02 slash date is 01 first Feb 2026. This
Yeah, we need
users,
to use hyphen, I guess, because in the
hi.
format.
Okay, let's try by this and we'll check with the hyphen as well. Let's write it once and let's write this time username as a Apeksha. It has created. It has created. Now, what is the command to check it out? Again, we can just give the password to this user Apeksha, right? and then the password is, again I am giving up the password here. After giving the password, we can just check out by keeping up the tail command hyphen n space 3 space, and then we can add the file location, which is slash etc slash pass wd. So it will show the Apeksha user has been created and user ID is 1003, like that, and entire details we are able to see. But how to check the expiration date? So you should remember the username, and there is a command that you can use, check command, check, check space hyphen l, and after that the username Apeksha, right? Check space hyphen l space username. This info will show when your account is going to expire. Last password change this date, password expire never, password inactive never, but account is going to expire on the given date Feb 1st 2026. This is what we have given. Minimum number of days between password change 0. These other info also you can modify, but for now you see account expire is given, right? But how many users we do have, which we have created? Right now we have created 3 users. So Apeksha is our third user. If we want to keep third user in Apeksha, so again we will be giving the command user mode hyphen c, and we have to keep here third user, and that should go to Apeksha, KSHA. Right now, if I'll show you tail command, tail space hyphen n space 3 line from the bottom etc slash pass wd, we will be able to see our 3 user Aditya, Anant, Apeksha. These are our 3 users which we have created in their home directory. If you go to c cd space slash home, and after that there if you do ls, these users home directory is here. Now in Apeksha already we do have expiration date. In Aditya, if we need to add, again you can just write user mode hyphen e, and after that you can give the date. Let's say if I'll give 2025 in month of February, and the date is going to be 01, this user Aditya's account should be uh, disabled. So you can just simply add, and again you can give the command check space hyphen l space Aditya, and then you will be able to verify. This is the user expire detail. This is the second thing which we are able to see right now into the users detail, right? The last one is home directory path. Last one is home directory path. So in the same way, here you need to add the home directory for the user. For example, for example, let's suppose if you are creating the user at the same time you want to change. Let's suppose our next user is Banu Prabhas. Our next user is Banu, let's example. So I'll keep here command as user add. Now I'll keep Banu. So I want to add the directory right now itself. In slash home slash Banu Prabhas. Bhanu Prabhas is the directory name, but what user we are creating is Banu. This username is Banu only, right? So what it will do? It will create the user Banu, but the directory name will be different here. Need to verify? You can just use the tail command space hyphen n space one line from the same file. Directory is slash etc and the file name is passwd. We have created the Bhanu Prabhas as a user, sorry, Bhanu as a user, and the directory is different here. Now if you go to cd space home and then if you ls, the home directory name is Bhanu Prabhas. By default it will create by the same name, but if you need to modify, you can modify it also. I hope I made it clear, the user part, guys. User part is clear now to everybody. User part is clear to everybody.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So now the time is to delete the user. So let's say if we need to delete Aditya user, simply what will I do is I'll just write user del, user delete, and the username is Aditya. Now if I run this command like this, so user Aditya will get deleted, but Aditya home directory will be still here. Aditya is still here, but if you go back and if you check the user's detail, like by using cat command or by using tail command, tail space hyphen in space last four user we have created, right? Our file, let's say from the same file slash etc slash pass wd, if you see now, no Aditya user has deleted, but his directory is still there. So if you want to delete any user with the home directory, then you will be writing here user del space hyphen or recursively it will delete the directory, home directory of the user. Let's try with the Anant now. Now this user Anant, let's verify. Anant is deleted, there is no Anant. If you do ls here to check out the directory, there is no Anant directory also. So by using user del space hyphen r in the username, we will be deleting both users home directory and user also. So this is the end of the user, guys. This is the end of users detail. And you need to know one more thing. Let's suppose right now how many user we do have? Let's say right now I do have Apeksha and Bhanu. Apeksha and Bhanu. Two user I do have. So if we will log in as Apeksha, if we log in as Apeksha, we cannot access Bhanu details. Or if we log in as a Bhanu, we cannot access Apeksha directory. For example, let's see if you switch the user as a Apeksha. Now Apeksha is the user, and if Apeksha will go to her home directory, now if you see Apeksha is in her home directory. There you can create the file by using touch command. Let's say you want to create a file. Easily you can create the file we can see here, it is the file. But if you want to go from here, you are changing the directory to home slash, if you want to go to Bhanu Prabhas directory, Bhanu Bhanu Prabhas directory, as you can see it is still directly it is saying permission denied. You cannot go in someone else home directory. You can work in only home directory, in your home directory. Even you cannot go to the root. You cannot go to the root. Root is also denied because root is there for the root user. If you exit from here and now the user is root, so root can go anywhere. If root needs to go to the root also, root can go. See, root is under the root. If root needs to go to the home, root can go into the home. If root needs to go to the Bhanu Prabhas or Apeksha or Aditya directory, root can go anywhere. See Aditya, if you need to go back and if you need to go back into what do we say, Apeksha directory, so simply you can just type cd space Apeksha. You can go here and you can ls file is there, right? And what you can do is if your file is into Apeksha, this user can also delete this file. If this user wants to remove this file, easily user want to remove, user can remove that file. Who can remove? The root user can remove this file. Guys, Is it clear? Shall we move to the group now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. So let's move to the group into the same document. So now after this, now we are moving to the managing group. What is group? Group is the collection of users. Or you can say a group is the a group is a set of accounts, means users accounts. A group is a set of user accounts. Group are convenient way to associate user accounts with similar security need. Similar security need means similar permission, guys, similar permission. They should have similar permission. For example, it is easier to grant it is easier to grant permission. You know, it is very easy to grant permission to a group rather than four different users individually. Let's say there are there are multiple users: M Major, Jedoy, El Juan, Molivira. These users are there. If they need to get some permission, this user. So rather than adding individual permission to them, what we can do is we can bring all these four users in a group, and we can add the permission directly to this group, and this permission will apply to each member of the group. And the storage location for the group is /etc/group. This will be created once you create the user. At the same time, the get created group will also get created. So for example, if a group you are creating, so you will be able to check into the /etc/group file, and the group detail will be coming like this. This is the group name, system d general. So this is the group name, and this is the group encrypted password. This is group id, and these all are the member of the group that will be coming later on. EC2 is the one user, and second user, third user. These will be coming. Right, you will be learning about the permission also, guys. You will be learning about the permission also. So by default these things will be coming once you will be setting up the group. So there are few commands, guys, that you need to understand here related to the group. Now if you need to create any group, you will be using group add command. It will create a new group. For example, group add space group name, right? In group modification, if you need to modify an existing group, you have to just write group mode. It is group add for adding the group. This is group mode for modifying the group. Group mode -n. New group to old group. You will change the name of the group from old means new group means new name of the group to old name, right? So it will take a new name. Group delete. You can delete an existing group by keeping a command group del and then the group name. That's easy. After that, we will see how to add and remove the users from the group. How to add a user to a group. So there are two commands that has been given to add the user. What you can do is you can modify a individual user. You can modify individual user saying user mode -ag. Your group is going to change from AG means we are going to attach a group. AG means we are going to attach a group to this user. So if you need to add a single group or multiple group to a single user, if user is single, user is single, and you want to attach with single group or multiple group, then that time you will use the user mode command, because your user is single one. Either you are keeping this single user in a single group, or you are keeping into the multiple group you are attaching. That time you will use user mode. In gpassw command, we will be using when we want multiple users, ZOI or one more user, multiple user. If we need to associate with a group, that time you can use ZOI. ZOI, that time you can use. Sorry, you can use the gpasswd. ZOI is here. The what is the JEDA? JEDA is the user. JEDA is the user and this is the group. So command should be easy and clear. Command should be easy and clear. How to remember these both command? When you are keeping user mode space hyphen ag, it means that you want to attach a group. So once you keep ag, just after you keep the group name here, and then your user you will keep here. This is with the user mode. But if you use gpasswd hyphen a, you are going to attach the user. So here first of all user will come. You are adding the user, so here user will come, and after that group will come. So this is how you can attach the user to a group. Next, if you want to gpassword command to add the password to a group, gpasswd you will be using. Gpasswd, as we have used passwd for the user password, here we will be using gpasswd with the group name, and we will be adding up the password to the grouper. Now the options which we do have, hyphen a. Let's say if we are keeping user mode space hyphen a, it means that we are going to add a user to the group az. This is the option that we are going to use. Hyphen d you can use to remove user from a group. Hyphen capital M, you will be able to set the list of members of a group. I don't think it will work, but we will try with this also. In hyphen A, you will be setting up the list of administrator for the group. So hyphen A, hyphen administrator, admin 1, admin 2, like that we will be setting up the list of administrator for the group. So overall, these all are the things that we are going to see, and later on we will be seeing up the permissions detail one by one. So let's verify the group part, guys. Let's verify the group part. So I'll clear up the screen and I'll go back to the home directory of the root user. The user is, who am I? User is root, and present working directory is slash root. And how long we are running this machine, guys? What is the command to check how long we are running this machine? Because maximum lab duration is 1 hour. What is the command to check?
Stop.
Uptime. Very good. So it is 34 minutes. Means we do have still 30 26 minutes, right? So we will just clear up the screen and we'll start. So first of all, let's see where the group has created already. So for that we can use cat command slash etc slash group file. Here we can see these all are the groups. These all are the group. As I said, when we create any user, at the same time a group used to get created. At the same time one group used to get created. But but you know what is the biggest mistake? What do we feel? For example, let's say I'm creating a group. Let's say I'm creating a group, and I'm creating a group. For example, for example, let's say group is development. Development, or yeah, let's say group name is development. If I'm creating this a group, now if I'm keeping one user here or two user here, so what happen? Now if these user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, if we need to add permission to this user, 4 users. Directly we can add the permission to this group. All the permission will go to this user. Individually, one user can have some other permission also. Individually, these one user can have some other permission rather than these 3 users. But what happens generally? What do we think? If we create a user, if we create a user here, if we create a user at the same time, by the same name one group used to get created. Let's say my user which I am going to create, it is funny. So by the same name one group will be created. So my question is, this user will be the member of this group or not, guys? Because both are creating by default. This user will be the member of this group. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
This user will be the member of this group. Yes or no?
Maybe yes, sir.
Maybe yes. Very good. Any other one? Any other which wants who wants to answer here? All right. So the answer is no. See, we have created Bhanu, but Bhanu is not the user in this particular group. You can check it like this. Let's suppose I am creating one more user as a funny. So I'll keep as a user add, and I'm going to create here user as a funny. And user has created, by the same name group will be also created. So if I need to check, I'll just type here cat command /etc/ passwd, and here you can see funny has been created. This is the user. This is the user. But if you go back and if you check cat space /etc/group, here funny has been created, but funny is not in the funny. Funny is not in the funny group. So what we can do is we can add funny into the funny group later on, but by default it does not add that user in the same group. So separately, if you need to create any group, so you will be using the command called group add. And let's say I'm creating a group by the name of DV, development group. And then I'll give the password to this group. So we will type gpasswd to the group name development dev. I'll give the password here 123 and 123. Now if we need to verify, you can verify by using tell command also, the last line from the file call /etc/group. This time we are going to use to check it. So this has been created dev colon x colon 1006. This group has created. Now if I need to add one user as a funny to this group, now what permission this group is having? What permission this group is having? So what you can do is you can go back to DEV and you can check it. You can go back to DEV and you can check it. We will talk about the permission next after this, what permission it does carry and how to modify everything. Every permission part we will be seeing after this user in group part. So if you need to add funny into this group, guys, what you will do is you will either use user mode, means you want to modify only one user mode hyphen a, you want to attach this user to a group az hyphen a to attach this user capital G to a group. So here you have to add the group name first. So dev is my group and my username is, let's say, funny. So now what will happen? funny will be added to this group. If we need to verify it, we can just write tail space hyphen n space 1 slash etc slash pass wd, sorry, slash group. So here you can see funny is the funny is the member of this dev group. Now let's suppose you want to add another user. Let's suppose you want to add another user. Let's you want to add Apeksha. So you can just as user mode space hyphen az, and now you want to add Apeksha into dev group. So you can add Apeksha ksha. And now if you check again, so you will get how many user? Two user. Funny and Apeksha both are into the dev group. Right? Both are into the dev group. If you need to add any user, let's say if we check the user now, so what we will do is number of user I want to check last 5 hyphen n 5 user from the same file slash etc pass wd. So these all are my user Apeksha, Bhanu, Funny. Let's say Bhanu is also there. So if I want to add Bhanu to this dev group, but this time I am not using user mode command. What will I use? I'll use gpass 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 wd gpass wd. We are going to add a user we have created. We will modify later on. We'll delete after this. But here, yeah, gpasswd. Gpasswd. So once if you need to use gpasswd, now the scenario will get changed, guys. What option you are using? Hyphen a only. Hyphen a only. So if you need to keep gpasswd hyphen a, you want to attach which user you want to attach. So this time user will come first, and username was Bhanu, right? So let's say Bhanu is the user which we want to add to DV group. So simply it will say adding user Bhanu to group DV. So now if you keep the same command to check, now in this DEV we do have user, three user. Let's suppose if you need to remove the user from this group. As you can see, it is telling us if we need to remove the user from the group. So here we do have directly if you need to remove user hyphen d with the gpasswd. So simply you can come here. Let's say if you need to remove Funny first. So what you can do, gpasswd space hyphen d. Now again we will be typing the user Funny from the group called dev. So removing user Funny from group dev. Let's try with multiple gpasswd space hyphen d, multiple users you want to remove. So first user is Apeksha, comma, second user is Bhanu. These two user I want to remove from dev. See, removing user Apeksha Bhanu from group dev. Gpass wd user, this is not a member of dev. Now first it has removed, and after that it is confirming these all are not the member of this group. Now if we need to check it out, we can just keep tail hyphen n1 slash etc slash pass wd, but still we can see Apeksha and Bhanu are the member. It means that this command is not executed proper. Why? Because multiple user you cannot remove at a time. For that you have to use different option. And what is that option? Hyphen m, multiple member. For multiple member you have to use hyphen m. So you can just type here gpasswd hyphen d, and here you can just keep capital M. Multiple members we need to remove. It is again showing not working. Hyphen M members users, set the list of member of group. So except for hyphen A hyphen M, okay, user add this, user delete this, okay, hyphen H hyphen R delete password, hyphen R restrict, hyphen A members. So it is telling us to add, guys. It is telling us to add by using this, right? Multiple users we can add by using hyphen M. gpasswd hyphen M multiple users to a group. Set the list of members of a group. So that time we can use hyphen M, right? For adding up, and this hyphen M and D both are not working together. DM, let's try. DM, it is DM. Let's try MD once. Mhm. Let's try hyphen M and hyphen D. Both will not work, guys. This is not the syntax of running this command. If we need to check it somewhat more about hyphen M, about the gpasswd, so you can just type man gpasswd about this command. So it is telling gpass we are using for to administer this slash etc slash group. In the password you can check it out in gshadow. In every group can have administrator member and have a password, right? And after that you can see except for A and hyphen M option, you can see some other option. Here it is starting with hyphen hyphen means hyphen D to delete users or remove the users from the named group, hyphen H display the help message, hyphen Q to root, hyphen R to remove the password, hyphen R capital to restrict, hyphen capital A to administer the user, hyphen M to members, set the list of group members. So these command options you can use with the same. You can take the help of it if you feel it is quite difficult to understand. So what we have seen how to add a users to a group directly by user mode, and we have added a user by using a group also. Now if you need to modify the existing group, so for example, if you do have here DEV group, you do have DEV group. If you need to modify as a production, so what you can do is G pass WD space hyphen N, and now you have to give the new. So new is, let's say, production. My group name is production. I'm going to change from DEV hyphen N it is, or something else, hyphen group mode, sorry, it is group mode, guys. I have used group pass gpasswd because we are modifying the group. So group mode space hyphen end, and after that production space dev, so it will get changed. Now if you need to check it, the last line tell command, tell space hyphen n space 1, and if you need to check the group, now it has been changed as a production, right, from DEV. So this is how we can change the group. This is how we can modify the group. And if you need to delete the existing group, let's say production, if you need to delete, you can just type here group del space group name production. And now if you need to verify, there is no group. Funny is coming now, not production, because we have deleted. So last it is showing, it is not the production. So this is how you will be able to add the group, modify the group, and delete the group. After that, we have seen how to use these two command, with the hyphen A with the add, hyphen D to delete, hyphen M to adding up the members, hyphen A to administer. Hyphen A, let's say the same it is if we do have any group right now. Let's say Funny is the group, Funny is the user. So if we need to add, the command is again g pass wd. Let's verify it once. Here we are giving all the commands with g pass wd hyphen a, and after that admin1 admin2, you will be setting up the administrator for the group. So hyphen a in the group name is Funny. Sorry, admin. But uh, except for the hyphen a and hyphen n option, the options cannot be combined. Okay, it should multiple. It needs multiple user. Let's say apeksha ksha. Same it is showing. Same it is showing, guys. Hyphen a. G pass wd with hyphen a. So what we can do is we can check it here. Why it is not working? Uh, the command is the command is here g pass wd with the hyphen a. We can just type here example of example of g pass wd with hyphen m hyphen a to set up administer, something like that we can type here. It will just give us some example. So it is saying us, let's have a group called developers and you want to assign Alice Bob as a administrator of this group. Then you have to use gpasswd hyphen a. So here should be the username and after that the group. That's so simple. So these member will be the this Alice and Bob will be the administrator of this developer group. So for example, right now, as per our users and as per our details, let's say we do have Funny and Apeksha. If out of it, if we want to add them to any group and they should be administrator it, so for example we can just write g pass wd space hyphen a. Now we can use a user called Funny and then we can use the same group Funny to administrator, right? So now Funny will administrator this group. Funny will administrator this group. To check it, we can go to the group and we can just find out the developer. We can just find out the developer. So that's again so simple. We can just write cat space slash etc slash group, and we can keep a pipe here to filter. You are using grep and what you want to filter, the Funny group. So it is saying Funny. Funny is the, what do you say, Funny user is the administrator of this group called Funny. If you change these names you can also get, but for now we do have this. So if you need to try again we can. Let's say if we add a user, sorry, if you add a group here, if we create a group, so group add and dev is the group again which we want to create. Now if we want that Funny should be the administrator of this group, so again the command will be gpasswd space hyphen a for administrator. Now here you will be using the user, so user is Funny, and to which group, the group is dev. Now if you check it, cat space slash etc slash group, and you will use a pipe here because you want to filter it from the file called, this is this is dev grep dev. So here you can see in the devx dev funny, let's say filter funny, user will filter. So it is showing funny group. Here if we filter dev, then dev is coming. Now we have admin, but we did not make the member of this to that user, right? Means funny is not the member of this group, right? We have to add that in that group, right? So that it will come up here also, right guys? For adding up again, you can just keep user mode space hyphen a capital G, and then here we will be adding the group name dev and the user is our funny. So now if we verify, see here it is showing. Alright, so this is what it is, guys. And after that, we are going to see the user's permission. So these all are the two user which we have learned so far. One is the root user, and the second one is our standard user. So if you talk about the root user here, if you talk about the root user can access any file, root user can change any file, root user will have control on the services, it can manage any account, it can manage hardware, it can manage Linux kernel, it can manage software as well. Entire things can be managed by the root user, whereas a standard user can access any file if the permission has been given from the root user. Standard user control any file that the user own. If this standard user create any file, so he will own that file, and that can modified by this user, and limited access to manage the system that user will be having. Now use caution with root. Security based practice, you need to understand the security also. So do not log in to the system with the administrative permissions, means the root user. That is first thing I have told you. Log in as a stand user and then elevate permission. If you need any permission, then you can ask to the root user. And the root user is powerful account in the Linux. Mistake can leads to your system inoperable. And the command prompt ends with the hash if you are using root user, and command prompts in with the dollar if you use the standard user. These all almost we know. Moving further, the su command is switch user. Login as a standard user as a su command, and then elevate permission, right? Su root also you can switch from the current user's environment to the root account. So we, if we need to switch with the root, su root, then what will happen? There is a user one, let's say there is a user one. So now it will switch as a user root, but the present working directory will be the same, because you are not using hyphen. Here you are using hyphen. It means that you will switch to the root with the root's environment, means it will become root, user will be become root, and the directory where this user is working, that will be also become slash root. So this is how you will change the user. Su root, su root, or simply if you type su also, it will direct to root. If you direct here, if you just clear up the screen and if you exit now, so right now we are in EC2 user. If you just type su, but this time it will ask the password of this user, we don't know the password. So what we will do is, we are that's why we are using sudo su, we don't know the password, right? So we are using sudo. Su means switch user, and sudo means sudoers list is coming now. So in the etc, guys, etc known as the configuration file in the Linux. If you need to configure anything, you will come into the EC2, either user related configuration, group related configuration, or permission related configuration. You will come into the etc, and inside that sudoer is the file. Sudoer is the file. So in this file, if you add any specific command or any specific user, so these user When we are talking about any command or any user, it means that user is not root user. User is not root user. That's why we are talking about root user can do anything. Root user can do anything. But standard user standard user cannot do everything. So standard user cannot do anything. What it cannot do, if such kind of permission this standard user wants, then this user needs to request to the root user to modify this sudoers file. If root related permission will be given to this user into this file, sudoers file, then this standard user will also perform the task, but by using, before we will be writing sudo. It means that sudoers file delegates a specific command to a specific user by adding them into the /etc/sudoers. The syntax is users host is equal to user group command. Example, let's say if you want to allow members of the users group to shut down the local host, so here you will use %user localhost is equal to the shutdown path -r. Now immediately what it will do, it will just shut down the user. And along with that, it is telling allow members of the DVS group. There is a group called DVS. In that, there will be few members. It is telling allow members of this group all action from any host without requiring the password. So this group is having all the access without asking the password. So any member from this group, DEV group, let's say user 1, user 2, user 3, they all can switch to the they all can switch to the they all will get the permission to perform the work as the as the it does not require the password. Why to speak unwantedly if it is not perfect? So here it is the syntax /etc/sudoers file. So generic format is who, where, and assume what permission it does require from any host. Let's say student 1 is the group. Now it is telling can become any user and can run any command without entering any password. You will say yes. For example, let's suppose whenever we are typing sudo and switch to the root user, is it asking the password? Of course no, it is not asking the password. Why? Because this ec2 user is the member of sudoers list. How to check it out? Let's check the sudoers file now. So you will just type cat space /etc/sudoers. So here you can see same thing without a password. Same thing without a password. See guys, that's so simple, right? To understand. But you will get confused. You will get confused here. It is coming will all no password. If it means if anybody is the member of will group, then they don't require the password to log in. Any member of will group. For example, if you need to check the will group now, so I'll clear up the screen, and if we just do cat space slash etc slash group group to see will, you need to find out will guys, will. So if you see here, wheel is here. Who is the member of wheel? EC2 user is the member of wheel. That's why Why this is, guys? It has been 1 hour, it seems, right? It's been 1 hour now. Let's go back to this and start the lab again. Account is in cleanup. So guys, the end of it, you can see this EC2 user is the member of will, right? If I'll bring any user, if I'll keep that user into the will, then from that user also we can switch into the root. Means it does not require any kind of password that time. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Sudoers is clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
So Sudoers part I'll show you. Sudoers part I'll show you in next lab once we will start. Sudoers and sudo logs both I'll show you into the next one. Su and sudo command, if you see, su commands activate full administrative permission. When all administrative permission you need, then you will use su. Users are prompted for the root password if you use su. Sudo means on behalf of root some of administrative task which you want to perform. Users are prompted to their own password. Here it will ask the root password. Here it will ask the user password if you use su separate and sudo separate. These all are the checkpoint questions. And then this IAM, identity and access management, is same as the concept of Linux. IAM is the service of AWS in which you will be creating users who will be able to have control on AWS account. For example, let's say uh, you are using your credit card, debit card, or any card to create the AWS account. AWS account. It means that once you have created this account, you are the root user. And after that, if this root user can perform, this root user can do anything in AWS. This user can use any service. This user can create any resource. This user can perform anything. Later on, this user can create some standard user. In these standard user in Linux, this standard user in AWS known as IAM user. In these IAM user will get the permission from the root user to access the services. For example, if root user will assign EC2, then only this IAM user can access the EC2 service. Neither it cannot access. We'll continue. Along with that, we will be accessing. If you need to edit the file, if you need to edit the file editing is all about both file creation, file creation, and edition of the file. Means you can edit the file, you can create the file. So there are three commands that we are going to use here. First command is VIM. Our first tool is VIM. VI or VIM. VI initially it was VI, but now it has been upgraded to VIM. It is again a text editor. It is again a text editor. As in Windows we do have Notepad. Like the same in Linux we do have VIM editor. And we do have Nano file editor also. VIM. And second one will be Nano file editor. Nano file editor. So how exactly it does work? Let's say VIM will be mostly in almost all the Linux distribution. Almost all the Linux distribution, VIM will be the default editor. So how will I write? See, almost in all Linux distribution, VIM is default editor. default editor. Almost in all Linux distribution, either it can be Red Hat, Ubuntu, Fedora, CentOS, all. So almost in all you can use VIM. Second, you can use Nano. Nano is another editor. So which are distributions related to Red Hat, CentOS, Amazon, Linux. These kind of distribution supports Nano also. So you can use Nano here as well. Nano in these distributions, not in other like Ubuntu and all. Here it will support. Next is Gedit. Gedit is again a file editor, but this Gedit is available in GUI. In Geographical User Interface of Linux, you can use Gedit. But here in command line, we will be using either VIM or GNU Nano. These two we will be using. Okay, and this Gedit in future, in any case, if we get the GUI, that time it is just as a notepad, you can say. This is what we do have, guys. VIM text editor, and here we start with the GUI in Linux. GUI is optional in Linux. Most Linux configuration are held in the text file only, and the user can customize VIM extensively. There are some defined personalized key mapping that we used to call macros, and automate syntax, automate sequences will be here that we will be learning one by one. And inside the VIM you will be having multiple mode. So guys, let's start with the VIM, and parallelly we'll see the sudoers also in the same. So when we talk about the VIM, it is a editor. It is the editor, or you can say it is a tool to edit the file. So if you need to create any file, you can just type VIM and you can give the name of file as a file1.txt or file.txt. It will open a text file and you can enter the text directly. Right? This is a VIM editor. Right? It initially the name was VI, later on it became VIM. Now, there are four modes into the VIM. There are four modes into the VIM. Right? There are four modes. Those four modes we need to understand one by one. Right now here we do have command mode, insert mode, and only two mode, command mode and insert mode has been given here. Only two mode has been given into this file. This is the third mode. Three mode has been given here. Three mode has been given into this file, and what we will do is we will learn all the four mode one by one. Right, all the four mode one by one we will be learning. So majorly there are two mode which we are using very frequently. One is command mode and second one is insert mode. For example, if you give VIM command in file name, so first of all it will open in the command mode, and then you will press I button, and then you will go into insert mode. There you can write your text. You can go into insert mode and you can write the text. In command mode there are few effects that you can use. Means directly these will work as it has been given. For example, let's do the lab parallelly. We will be able to check it out one by one so that you will be having much more clarity rather than seeing up here and perform. Lab number 231 will download the ppk file, and parallelly we'll open the putty, we'll upload the private key file, and we'll open. And what we will do is we will change the font so that it should be visible clearly to everybody. There might be some setting which can, set up this font for always, but here we are not using. We'll use once. So this is our screen. If you say, we will start now. Shall we start? Shall we start, guys?
Yes, sir. Wow.
All right then. So as per the last doc, the sudoers was left here. So sudoers file is the file, guys, where if you give the permission, so the commands can be run by standard user on behalf of root user also. So we have seen once will become the root user. Here, if you go back to your sudoers list by keeping cat space slash etc slash sudoers, if you go to this list, here you can see uh, the group is will, and in this group it is asking no permission is required, no permission is required. So if it will switch the user, means the root user, that time it won't ask the password. So what we will do is we will try to check out the groups also. So for checking out the groups, you can use cat command slash etc slash group. So here we will see the wheel group. Here we will see the wheel group. Somewhere it will come wheel group. We will be searching the text also by using grep, but for now we can continue, right? So EC2 user is the member of the wheel group. So what we can do, for example, if we want to do the same with other user, we want to keep them into the wheel group. So let's say we are creating a user called user1. So our command will be user add, and user1 is the user which we want to create, and we can give the password to this user, passwd user1, and we'll give the password 123 and 123. Now we have created the user, and we can verify it by using tail space hyphen n space one line from the same file etc slash passwd. Right. Now this user one has created. Now this user one, if I want to add into the wheel group, either we can modify the user or we can use the gpasswd. So here if we need to modify the user, we will give the command user mode hyphen a g, and here we will be adding the user one into a group called wheel. Wheel is the group name and our user is user one. Now if we need to verify in wheel user whether user 1 is there or not. So for example, you can use cat command to verify in the group of this file p, if we can keep a pipe to filter, or directly we can check the entire file user 1. So see, you can see now in will EC2 user is also there and user 1 is also there. Directly you can also verify by using cat slash etc slash group. I have used grep to filter the text here. So if you see now, wheel is the user, wheel is the group where user 1 and EC2 both are there, right? So for example, if I log in as a user 1, I have logged in as a user 1. In my present working directory, I made it as a user 1. Now if I need to switch to the root user, it is asking the password for user 1. Once we will give 123, see, it is bringing us into the root user simply, right? It is bringing, it is not asking the root password, it is asking your user password, right? It is asking your user password, not the root password. Got it, guys? This is the benefits of sudoers. If you will not add any user, you cannot even log in by using sudo su. For example, if you think, let's say if I add user add, and now I'm adding user 2, and I'm giving the password to this user 2 also, saying 123 123. Now if I will not add this user, if I will not add this user into that uh, group, so if I write sudo su hyphen, and uh, we are already into the root. So if I'll go to login as a user 2 first, we are into user 2. I'll clear up the screen, and then I'll go to the root user, and then I'll just type su and enter. It is asking the password. Now it is asking the password. I have given the password, but it won't get login. See, again it is saying authentication failed, user 2. Even if you see sudo su, if you keep, it will say user is not in the sudoers list. Password for user 2, if you keep, again it is into user 2. It is not bringing up into the root. But whereas if you log in as a root, if you log in as a user 1, let's say if you do user 1, and now if you need to log in as a sudo su to root user, it will ask the, see, it is directly bringing us to the root. From this user 1, it is bringing us to the root directly, without asking the password now also. So this is the benefit of sudoers. All right, let's clear it. Now guys, now we are login as a root user. We can log in as a EC2 user now. Okay, it went in another loop, guys, it seems. Okay, let's clear up the screen. Let's use the root or any user, it does not matter because we are going to work on the file. So do ls, nothing is here. We are going to use VIM editor, guys. VIM. If you want to see much more details about VIM, just type VIM and enter. See, VIM is VI improved. The version of VIM which we are using here is 9.9, 9.0.697 by Brom Mulnar EL, modified by Amazon Linux Engine and Amazon.com. VIM is open source and freely distributable. Become a registered VIM user by following this. Here type Q to enter, type Q to enter to exit. So if we need to exit, we'll just type Q, enter. Means Q. Okay. So colon Q with the exclamation will enter. Right. So you can just type colon Q exclamation mark or colon Q. You will come out. Or you can just press double Z. Let's try one more time. I'll just type here VIM, enter, and after that I'll just press capital Z 2 times. Let's see, done. Right? Rather than pressing Q, just press capital double Z, 2 means 2 times double Z. Right? VIM, enter, VIM, enter. Now you want to close it. After seeing this, just press double Z, capital. It will close. Now let's start with the VIM, guys. Let's say if you want to create a file, you can even start by keeping VIM, and after that you can keep the text and you can save it as any file. Or you can just type here VIM. Let's say VIM in the file name. Let's say file1 dot txt. Enter. Now guys, we came into the command mode. We came into the command mode. Means if you type anything now, it will not take the text because it is into the command mode. Mostly into the file mode. Mostly into the file mode. So in command mode, you cannot do anything here related to the text. So you have to press I to change it to the insert mode. See, here it is on the left corner, it is coming file1.txt new. But once you will press I, I, it is changing into insert mode. Now you can keep the text. Hey, this is this is Linux text editor. Let's say you want to type like this, multiple line. Let's say you want to type here um, v sorry Linux uh, VIM text editor. Text editor is the default text editor for most of the Linux distribution. Most of the Linux distribution. And one more line I'm writing, Nano is also one text editor. Something like I have written 2 3 line. Now if I need to save and close, so you cannot save and close it into the insert mode. Then you have to switch to the command mode. If you need to switch into command mode, then you have to press escape button. The first key, the first key of your laptop, which you can find out from top, from left side top, first key is the escape key. On that it will be written ESC. You will press escape key once, it will go into the command mode. And if you want to save this text and come out, you have to keep colon and W to save it, W to save it, and Q to quit it. WQ, WQ. And if you will hit enter now, it will save and it will close the file. If you need to verify, you can just type cat file1.txt. If you hit enter, this is the text that we have written in the file. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Sir, can you repeat once again?
Very good. I'll repeat it again. So let's suppose I'll clear up the screen. Now, if we want to use VIM text editor, let's say I'm creating a text file, right? In .txt, it is a text file. So if you want, you can add the extension. If you don't want, you can leave, right? So I'm just creating VIM text file.txt. I'll hit enter. First of all, it will bring me into the command mode. This is my command mode. In command mode, we cannot insert the text. If we need to insert the text, we have to go into insert mode. For insert mode, you have to press I. Now you can see in the left corner bottom side insert it is showing. It means that easily you can insert the text from A to Z, right? This is A to Z. It is not A to Z, it seems. Now it will become A to Z again, again. Right? So these all are the texts, maybe A to Z, all the texts we are able to write now. And anything, any number you can add, any sign you can add, because it's a text file, so you will be able to add anything here. Whatever the things has been given on your, uh, you know, uh, keyboard, you will be able to do everything. You can type whatever you want here in the insert mode because it is insert mode, right? But if you need to save this file and come out, then first of all you have to come into the command mode from this insert. Once you will come into the command mode, your keyboard key will not work. After that there are few keys that will work only. So if you press the escape button, if you press the escape button, it will bring you into the command mode. So let me press the escape now. Now you see it is into the command mode. The insert has been removed here, right? So it is into command mode. Once you come into the command mode by pressing escape, you just give a colon. Once you write the colon, automatically it will come into the bottom side. colon, and then W for saving it, Q for quitting it out, and if you will hit enter, you will list that file. Now text file.txt is there. You can use cat command to check it, this text file.txt. These all are the unwanted text we have written in that file. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now we will be moving ahead with the some effects which we are able to see of uh, keystroke into the command mode. Command mode means we are not going to type anything, we are not going to add any text here. Let's suppose if you open something, let's suppose if you open something here, for example, we will use this file1.txt. If I'll open file1.txt into the VIM, file1.txt, again you can open the file, you can modify and you can do the things. So we are into command mode or insert mode right now. Anybody?
Command mode.
Command mode. Command mode means whatever the effect which has been given here, this entire effect will work. These are the command mode. If you press the X, if you press the X, so it will delete the character at the cursor. See, this is the right now R is at the place of means cursor. So now if I'll press X, it will delete. See, X, it is deleting, right? It is deleting. X means deleting. But what will happen if you will be into insert mode? X will start typing there, X will start writing if you come into the insert mode. Let's suppose from here also, if you press I, so here you see, if I'll press X, it will delete the text at the cursor, right, into the command mode. That is the first thing which we are able to see into the screen. Second thing, capital G will move your cursor to bottom of the file. Bottom of the file. Let's say already it is on the bottom, but if you press the capital G, it will bring directly into the bottom line. Directly into the bottom line. And if you need to G, we have used capital G. G means ground, guys, bottom, ground floor. G for ground floor. And if you need to go on the top floor, move the cursor to the top floor, you can use small gg. Small gg. So if you need that your cursor should reach on hay, then you have to press small gg. It is reaching on hay now, right? So capital G to bring it down, small double g to bring it on top, right? And X to delete the text at the cursor. These three things we have seen now. The fourth one is if you need to move your cursor to any specific line, move the cursor to any specific line, then you have to press number of the line n along with the capital G. So right now, if I need to go to the second line, third line, so I'll just press 3G. It is bringing me into the third line. If I need to go into, if I need to go into second line, 2Z, 2Z, VIM, second line. First line, if you press capital G, automatically it will get down. But if you need to go on top text, double small g, if you press, you can get it. And if you need to search any file or keyword, you can just keep slash keyword, whatever you want to search. Let's say if you need to search something Linux here into the text. So you have to type slash, see it came slash bottom, and if you need to search Linux, see Linux is getting highlighted here and here, right? You can search the text like this. Now, after searching the text, we do have Y. Y we are using to yank the text. Yank the text means cut the text. P for paste, I to move into the insert mode. Let's keep Y and P. Let's keep Y. We are on the hay. So if I'll use Y, and now if I'll bring my cursor on bottom G, I have copied. Now I'll bring capital G bottom, and I'll just try to use Y and P for pasting. No, 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 no. Again, let's reach on the top first, and here on the top we will use Y to yank the text, P to paste the text. So we are on H, Y, and now P for paste the text. Why P is not working? It is showing I only. It has copied I, it seems. Okay, let's try. Small p in small y. Perfect. Okay, let's close it once and open it again, guys. Same file will open it again. We'll go to I by keeping up the G, G, capital, sorry, small double G, it will bring on top. Now Y2, 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 yank the text in P. Mhm. Ah, now it is working. See, now it is working, right? So see, we have copied this line, the first line, right? And now you can see we are able to paste here. We are able to paste here. Let's say you want to copy this line, VIM text editor, this line. You just use Y, and then you come down and you can start pasting here. This line is getting pasted, right? So we have to use Y to yank the text and P to paste the text, right? Cut and paste part. Cut and paste part. Clear, guys, how to? And again, if you need to go on top, double small g, it will bring on top. If you need to go bottom, capital G, again on top, double small g. These all are working, which has been given into this file. We have tested everything which has been given here. Moving further, see, if you need to save the change and exit the VM, you have to press double capital Z into the command mode. Right now we are already in the command mode. We can press double capital Z. It is saved already. If you again verify cat, uh, cat file 1.txt, it is showing all the text, right? So double Z to double Z to save the changes and exit the VIM. Capital X, you will delete the character at the text. For that we had small x, that was working, small x. And DD, delete the line at the cursor. Delete the line at the cursor, guys. DD, and DD will be small one. For example, if you open this again file and if you press double D, it is deleting one line. See, capital D, small d not. It has been given wrongly there in the document. Means by mistake it has been become capital D, small d. But here you can press double small d. It will delete one line. See, it is deleting one line. Right? It is deleting one line, that is double D. And X will delete the character at the text, that you all know. X will delete the character at the cursor. Right? And next, U, undo the last command. So here you can use U, which will undo the last one. See, whatever we have deleted, that will come now, right? So that is undo. And -G to make it global. Make it global means from all file, if you need to replace something, if you need to find old, replace with the new, then you will give slash z and you can replace it. So we can also try this, guys. So let's suppose in this file editor our text is there, editor our text is there. So I'll keep percent and then s s sorry, it was saying colon s, colon s it is showing, colon s slash old, old to new. Old is, let's say, editor, editor, editor we have written. Now we want to replace with the file, let's say editor we want to replace with the file, right? So if you hit enter, one has been became file, one has been became file. But what if you keep entering here, it is as it is, it is as it is working, right? One has been modified as a file. But what if what if you need to modify, if you need to modify all editor? So what you can do, colon yes slash old is, let's say, editor, again slash new is file, n in all global pattern not found editor. Okay, colon yes, and then slash old one was editor, editor is fine, replace with the file n slash z. Okay, it is not working, very good. So what we can do is, let's type percent yes, sorry, percent colon percent yes slash editor slash text, let's say text again slash g, or without g, let's check it. See, all the editor here it became 10, 10 substitution on line became text here, this one not. So this time once again we'll try percent yes, old is editor, and slash new, let's say I'm adding slash z, this will modify all, right? Or you can say there is some other stuff, linux is there, or here is linux, here is linux, here is I, mostly I, one single I, if you replace everywhere I is there, right? So you can just bring colon percent yes, we want to replace I from what, from at the rate, let's say from all file. See, wherever I was there, it became at the rate everywhere. So this is how it does work. It should be percent yes. Basically, in this file, it should be percent yes here. Percent, sorry, percent it should be, right? Percent yes. Dollar percent yes, old, new, and G. You can change it, right? In capital O, you will enter insert mode and create a new line below the cursor. Capital O, you will insert into a insert mode and you will create a new line below the cursor. In A, insert mode and enter text after the cursor. So these all are the two things. Capital O and capital A. Capital O, you will go into insert mode, but you will create a line below the cursor. For example, this is your cursor. You can check it out. Capital O. Now, wherever the cursor was, you will be able to start typing there, right? Let's say escape button. Again go back into command mode. Press A. Now again you, wherever you are, from there you can write the text here. You came again into the insert mode. So if you need to go above, use O. If you need to just write from there only, use A. Capital O N capital A. LKJH or HJKL, you can move your cursor left, right, up, down. Here, left, right, up, down means into the command mode. Into the command mode. Neither if you write here into insert mode LKJH, it will start typing. But if you go in command mode, you can see I am pressing K. K is bringing me up. J is bringing me down. H will bring me left, and L will bring me right. LKJH. Or you can use your cursor, this up, page down button also. That's not the that much use of it. Alright guys. And how to enter into insert mode? By pressing the escape button. And I, enter I to insert mode, and escape to command mode, and quitting and saving it. If you need to just write the file, just save the file, W. If you need to quit it, Q. Without saving the file, you can quit it. If you need to save and quit both, then colon WQ, and this will work. Colon WQ exclamation mark means by forcefully you want to write and forcefully you want to quit it. And Q exclamation mark quit Vim without saving any changes. And these entire things comes under line mode. We used to call it as a line mode. Line mode. Right? Mode. Line mode. चाय नहीं लाया आज? Okay. So guys, this is your line mode, right? This is your line mode. So this is your VIM, right? These all also we have used. I for insert mode, ESC for command mode, colon to enter into X mode. X mode means line mode. These command will bring into the line mode. WQ, save and quit. Q with the exclamation mark. Quit without saving the text. This is what we do have here, right? And if you need to get any help, just you can write into the Vimulator, means in VIM, just type the colon help. You can get the help from here. And this is the end of VIM. This is the end of VIM. Now the next one is Nano text editor. Nano is much more easy than the VIM. Nano is much more easy. It is a common text editor in Linux, not necessarily install on every distributions. You can install by keeping up sudo, sorry, in Ubuntu also you can run, guys. Debian Ubuntu, you can install it also by keeping up sudo apt get install nano, and these all are the command, right? For nano it's so simple. For nano it's so simple. Here, let's suppose if you need to create a file nano, let's give the file name 123, enter, and you can give the text directory. This is Linux. That's it. Control X, Y, enter. If you need to save it, Control X, leave it, Y, enter. It will save. If you need to check it, 1, 2, 3, you can see it. It is, this is Linux. What we have to do for typing, you can type anything. For saving it, Control X, and then Y, enter. Control X and Y, enter. And here you can see also Nano contains many shortcuts. Use Control G to see the list. Control G you can use to see the list also. For example, if we are opening Nano 123 a file, and we can use Control capital G to get the help. It will capital G display this text, help text, and Control X close the current buffer, exit from Nano, Control X, and Control O to write the current buffer, Control R insert another file into current buffer, and Control W to search forward, cap Control slash replace a string or regular expression, Control K cut current line, and Control U uncut the cut buffer into. So many thing has been given. So many thing has been given. Somewhat more has been given here, right? See, so many A to Z. Okay, Q you can press to come back. So that's so simple here. You can also try. You can do the practices on it. Control X to quit Nano, Control O to save the file, Control K to cut the case, Control U to paste the text, Control G to get the help. Control X. Let's try one by one. So I have written this is Linux. I can type somewhat more things here. And if I need to save this only, then Control O. I have saved it. If you want to modify the file name, you can 123 1 4 something you can add, enter, and save file under the different name. Just say yes, Y, and then now you can Control X, Y, enter, ls. See, this is the new file which we have saved it here. So if you see the cat 1 2 3 1, this file, you can see this is the text that we have added in that file. And your 1 2 3 is also there. This is also there. So by using Control O, you can change it to another file. You can save it, or you can save the same file. It's up to you. Next, Control K, cut the text. Let's go back to another file. By using this, again we can just use nano space a file, let's say 3 4. Here we can type something here, and if we need to cut the text, let's say I kept it on F. Now it is saying Control K to cut the text, Control U to paste the text. Control K, capital 1, caps, Control K to cut the text, and Control P to paste, Control U to paste the text. See, U multiple time I have used U, Control U, so I am able to paste the text. Next we do have Control G, which we have seen as to take the help. There are so many, you can see. Control G, Control X we have used, Control O we have used. Control W, search for string or regular expression if you need to search something, as we have seen there. For example, here if you need to search SF, so Control W. You can search now. FSD, FSD, F, it came, right? FSD started to show you. So you can search it out. Control Y to move to the previous screen, Control V to move to the next screen, Control K, U, and Control C to the position, display the position of the cursor. Control C if you can use, wherever your cursor is, you will be able to see there. Control C, right? See, it is just uh, bringing up, right? Okay, so this is nano. Somewhat more things has been given. Cap underscore, go to the line and column number. Cap underscore, you can go to line and column number. Control slash, replace a string to regular expression. Repeat the last search. So many thing has been given, guys. It's all about doing the practices one by one. Move the cursor, end of the current line, move the cursor to matching bracket, switch the previous file buffer. These all are here. Repeat the last search. So these things basically we are using once we are frequently using the nano, right? So it's all about the doing practices. If you do the practice, you will be able to perform, right? As it has been given here. The last one is Gedit. Gedit is GUI based editor. Gedit is GUI based editor. Gedit is GUI based editor. So for example, if you are using GUI based Linux OS, that time you will get Gedit there, and it will look like this, guys. It will look like this, right? A file as in it used to open as a notepad like the same, it will open, and there these all are the options directly as we are using into notepad that will come. Gedit is a GUI text editor. Menu buttons are available only if GUI is installed in your operating system. These all are the checkpoint questions. Why are text editor essential for Linux users? Because user can create the file and modify the file. Which basic skill you need to manage Linux by using VIM? So how to open a file, edit, modify, queue, save, these all are here. And this is the end of this.